I was more than a tulip or a daisy, destined to grow no matter how many times they buried me. I was destined to grow no matter how many times they poisoned my soil and poured concrete over me. If you haven't checked out my fundraiser that I put out on Everything College, I highly encourage you, after you watch this video, to go check it out because it's inspirational and it's really amazing. Head over right now to my YouTube and subscribe. On this episode of What the Undergrad, we have Cierra talking about her experience at Clark Atlanta. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to check out this week's set of interviews. Welcome to Everything College. I'm your host, Christina Parker, supporting your college navigation while minimizing debt. If you haven't did so already, please make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, and I hope that you are following my little mini-series. So today I have a special guest, and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself right now.
Hey, my name is Cierra Gunderson. I'm a student at Clark Atlanta University. I'm a senior, and I'm currently studying social work with the intent to bring awareness to youth of color in communities like mine. So,
nice. Thank you, Dad. Welcome.
Thank you.
So my first question for you, why did you choose to get your degree at an HBCU?
I feel like if I want to work with youth, especially youth of color, I feel like you always have to lead by example. I don't ever want to promote or, say things and then my action doesn't like back it up. I feel like if I want to give back to my community, the community that raised me and poured so much into me, it starts with Black education. It starts with Black teachers. It starts with funneling our money with Black businesses. So I chose to go to HBCU because it's so many powerful, educated Black men and women at these universities. And I feel like there's not enough recognition. So we're going to start with us and, we're going to build each other up and we're going to make it do what it do.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you for that. Did you consider non-HBCUs? Why or why not?
I didn't. I only applied to HBCUs, period. Like it was no other option. I think growing up, especially in cities like LA or just diverse cities, we're always only minimized to like Black Student Union. It's always BSU. So I wanted the opportunity to go to a school where it was like only us. Like I didn't want to be a part of a BSU. I didn't want to be the only person in the class that looked like me. So,
yeah,
I'm tired of being the minority. That's what it was. So yeah.
So why Clark Atlanta?
Atlanta is like the most progressive city in the South. I feel like it's the most like Los Angeles. They call it like Little Hollywood or Black Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I figured I would struggle if I went to in a school like Howard, like in DC, with like the climate weather-wise. So I felt like Atlanta was the closest thing to home. So I felt like my transition would be better. And Clark, we're a part of the AUC, so we have Morehouse, Spelman, and Morris Brown. Nice. Which also helps because it's like such a large community of us in one area. So that helped a lot.
Nice. Can you tell us some pros and cons of attending an HBCU from your perspective?
I would say the only con that I would have would be financially. Most HBCUs are extremely expensive, especially if you're from like a certain background. Like when I say certain background is because I know you and I come from like Foster Youth and like CYC and stuff. So I know it's not ideal for everyone. So I think that's like the biggest con. I think the pros is that it feels like home. Like you're with people who look like you're with educated, successful Black people. Like that's all you see. So it's kind of just like you have no choice but to win or succeed when you have such a large community and network of people who look just like you doing the same thing. And I feel like Atlanta's a liberal, progressive city. Like outside of the campus, like it's still the city's popping. Like it's just a great area to be in with Black people.
Yeah, no, definitely. So how do you think your school handled the transition into online learning due to the pandemic?
So actually I didn't like how Clark did it. So I actually didn't go to school last semester. I just felt like Clark is predominant, like we're on an on-campus school. So I feel like being online was extremely hard and it was extremely unorganized.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I'm not going to pay for something that I'm not getting anything out of. So I don't think Clark handled it that well. I think I could have thugged it out had I just really like zoned in and focused, but I just couldn't do it. It was just like stuff everywhere. People had different rules or ideas of what was supposed to happen. So
yeah, no, you bring up a great point. You know, the transition into online from in-person learning is difficult for any person. So even if you attempted it, maybe it would have been just too difficult for you, you know, being at home, having like all your stuff around you and distraction. So I definitely get that. But that brings me to my next question. What are the pros and cons of going to school in a pandemic?
I guess I didn't go.
So yeah, no, that's real.
I would say in the transition, like when like everything shut down in March and stuff, that was our spring break. So I was actually home like when they decided to close. I had to fly back to Atlanta and then come back. So I didn't stay. And then when class started and stuff, it was just like a pass or fail, I believe. Like we still went to class and they still like taught us stuff, but we didn't have letter grades. I think we could do pass or fail or something like that. It was like a vote for student body. So that first round of staying at home, lockdown, whatever, was cool. It was just that when we came back to school and it was still COVID and like we didn't have the vaccine or any of that yet, that's when I was like, oh, I can't do this. Because then I feel like people were trying to figure out how to navigate and understand how to do online learning with material that's meant for in person. So I was just like, yeah, no.
Yeah, no, definitely. So how did the pandemic impact you personally or as a student? And it could be in a positive way or however you want to interpret it.
I feel like it made me get closer to things that I strayed away from. I feel like when you're a college student or just in your 20s, like young anyway, I feel like life is so kind of like random in like different directions. So I feel like I got to hone myself back in. I feel like I got closer to God a little bit, closer to like the things that I want to do, like what I actually like, and the things that I enjoy. I think I sharpened a couple of skills, read more books, and I feel like I definitely learned how to like just trust myself and trust like God or whatever people believe in. But I just felt like I got closer to him, and then I also manifested so many things. Like that's the time that you can like, okay, like Cierra, you're known for being kind of feisty, so let's tune that back a little bit. So I feel like I got to work on myself, and that's really important because me.
Yeah.
I'm a little like spicy and like rough on the edges, all this stuff. So I feel like I got to really look at myself and be like, okay, let's work on this.
Yeah, so definitely. I love a lot of people have talked about this time being the time of evolution and rediscovery. So I definitely get that from you too. So what are your goals after graduation? And did the pandemic reshape those goals?
I would say I'm not going to use my degree. So when I say that, like, I still want to work with youth. Like I still want to work with foster youth, parenting, and juvenile youth. I want to work in a way where it's not through DCFS. In Georgia, they call it DFACS, but what Department of Children and Family Services. So for the most part, I feel like I'm going to continue to work in the beauty supply industry. And I mentioned like before we started recording that I work for Hyper now. So I think I'm gonna go along those lines and see how far I can get with that. And then open my own business like eventually where I can kind of bring in the youth and work with the youth within that industry. I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah, no, definitely.
Do that. And then did the pandemic like I would say no. I would say like I always never like once I got into school of social work at Clark, I was like, yeah, this not gonna work for me. It's just something to use for backup because we work for California Youth Connection. You don't necessarily need a degree for that. So I feel like I got a lot of experience and kind of figured out what I wanted to do with that when we were doing CYC. So I don't know if I'm gonna use my degree.
Yeah, no, that's That's it's not abnormal. I think a lot of students who are in undergrad, they don't get a degree. I got my degree in Arabic language, literature, and culture, and haven't did or spoken Arabic since I graduated. So I definitely understand that, and wish you best of luck in your new career path. You're already popping, so don't forget about me.
No, never. But yeah.
So from a 1 to 10, can you rate your school experience? And 1 being horrible, like you should have never did it, and 10 being it's like the best thing that could ever happen to you.
I'm gonna give it a solid 7. Okay. I feel like here's free game just for anybody watching this. College is really, truly, honestly what you make it. Like, and people had told me that before, and I didn't get it. Like, I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, obviously, like, this is my college experience, but the people you choose to surround yourself with is so crucial in like your college career. People that you date, the jobs that you work at, like, just everything affects your experience with being on campus. So I would just say it was a 7 because I feel like I was in school and going to school, but I don't feel like I was with the right people, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like something would bother me, I would get upset, and then like that would affect my whole entire day or week or an event. Like, I was just like, okay, I'm upset, like I don't want to do this. So I feel like it's really truly what you make it and who you're with. So I would say a 7. I wish I would have been more involved like on campus, and I wish I would have not tried so hard to make certain friendships or relationships work that were just not meant to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I wish I would have went with my first mind and had fun and just went to school, and that was like the main thing, to just go to school and have fun. So
yeah, no, definitely. I totally agree with you. You know, your college experience really, it truly like what you make it. And it's so unfortunate for those that are going to school during a pandemic, who schools went virtual completely, which is totally understandable, right? But, you know, our experience has definitely changed. And so sending positive vibes to all the students that are out there.
Yes, good luck.
Yeah. So my last question to you is, what advice would you give other HBCU students or young Black people thinking about going into college?
I would say utilize all resources. Like, if somebody sends you links to scholarships, fill them out. I would say get acquainted. Yes, get acquainted to your student body, like via social media. So like if they have a Twitter, follow them, start to look through who's following that page, and maybe find somebody who's going to be a freshman or in the same class as you, connect with them, get to know people. And I would just say have fun and study. Like, that's really what you're supposed to be doing anyway, right? When you go to school. But I would say just be as involved if you can, because I know some people work. So if you can, like, just be involved and like have fun and make memories. I think that's all that really matters. Go to the football games, go to the best basketball games, date this person, sleep with this person, do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Do what makes you happy. And I would say stay out of all drama. Like, just mind your business. Like, you're supposed to be laser focused on you. So mind your business and everything will be fine.
No, definitely. So, great advice to all the students that are out there, for sure. Before we go, I actually do have one more question for you. Do you know what the higher education emergency relief funding is?
No.
No? Okay. No, students out there who also like know, make sure to check out my page. I have a whole little thing all about HERF 1, 2, and 3. But this was money that you should have received from your universities in March. Okay. And it should have been a couple $1,000s or, you know, something around that. So just wanted to put that on your radar if you are going back to school next semester.
No, I did. So I'm going back. I'm gonna finish. Okay. I have one more semester left.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see you. But when you do go, you should be getting more money from HERF. And so let's connect basis so we make sure that you get your money. And for all the students that are out there watching, make sure you go check out my videos about her. Thank you so much for being on my channel, providing your wisdom and guidance to all these students that are out there. Anything that we talked about will be linked in the description. If you allow me to put your information to contact, I will also have that there in the description. And as always, stay studious.
What's up, everybody? This is Manpreet, and if you want to learn more about my MSW journey at UCLA, tune into Everything College with Christina Parker.